think that maybe we are not skilled to negotiate? You have to be trained for those negotiations. I heard in England that there are some people which are hired to negotiate for very, very specific and very turbulent and very risky situation. You know, you hire somebody to negotiate for you. Do you think that it is possible that we are not skilled?
No, I think you have an interesting temperament that has pluses and minuses. Now I'll give you a classic example. When the war was going on in Bosnia, if you talk to any of the military people from the Western powers who were involved in the period between 1990 and 1995, every single one of those military people greatly appreciated the Serbs more than the other warring parties. Why? Because the Serbs were always very difficult, hard to reach an agreement with, but once an agreement was reached, they honored it 100%, as opposed to the other parties to the conflict that very quickly, whatever we ask, would say, oh yes, 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 that's fine, we'll do it, and then they wouldn't comply. So from the military side, they always favored the Serbs, but from the political side, everybody favored, as you know, the Bosnian Muslims. Again, because they were more attuned to what we wanted to hear, and they were more willing to give us a little of what we wanted, whereas the Serbs were very full of pride and wouldn't. And so you had this huge split in the international community, and you'll see that if you go back over the records, from the military side to the political side, on how they viewed the various ethnic groups. And this is my way of saying that like every other nation, the Serbs have certain characteristics, and some of these characteristics are to your advantage, and some make it harder in your dealings with the West. Let me give you another example. I'm not going to get into all the rights and wrongs in Bosnia. On all sides there was rights and wrongs. There's reasons why all sides did what they did. But the Serbs seem to have an uncanny ability to do things which angered or antagonized the international community on a daily basis. Classic example being shelling Dubrovnik. Again, I don't want to get into who's right and wrong about anything, but there was absolutely no good reason to shell this city, because in the United States of America, people might not even know what country or what area Dubrovnik was in. They knew the name Dubrovnik. And when they saw scenes of the city being shelled by the Serbs, it turned American public opinion against Serbia. And again, I'm not saying anything about the war and who's right and wrong, what should happen, but I'm just saying if Serbia would have looked at things from a broader perspective, they may have chosen not to shell Dubrovnik.